There is a very popular piece of advice on social media that says that quality over quantity is what matters on social media, especially if you're trying to grow your business from it. But let me tell you, that advice is dead, it's gone. Adios. Thank you for coming. And if you want to get organic leads through your content, specifically on Instagram, you need to embrace volume. And today I'm showing you the type of content and cadence that actually creates organic leads so that you don't have to use spammy outreach tactics or chase random people on the DMs and try to fish them out of the internet. This is going to be so much fun.
Do you want to be seen as the go-to in your industry, get more sales, easily attract new opportunities, but feel overlooked online? If so, you are in the right place. Hey, I'm Eugenia, but you can call me E. I'm a marketing strategist, a wife, and a new mom. I learned the secret of how to be seen as an authority and have people think of you for new opportunities and more clients. If you're ready to get clear on what makes your personal brand unique, build a magnetic presence online, and get more eyes on your business, this is your next move.
Allow me 30 seconds for an irrelevant intro to the podcast. But today we have 40-degree weather in Miami. I feel like I'm in Stars Hollow and I'm going to see Lorelai Gilmore walking around the town square, coffee in hand, any second now. I'm in Miami and this is the vibe I'm getting. I hadn't been this cold at night in 12 years, and that's because not even the heat, the heater in Miami works properly in my house. So yeah, it's quite an experience. And that has nothing to do with today's episode. There's not a secret relationship, but I just wanted to mark this important moment of history on the podcast. But to our topic today, if you know me, you know that I love sharing frameworks that are tested. Whenever I tell you something works, it's because it works. But social media shifts so fast. So unless it's your work, unless you are a social media expert or coach, unless that's the thing that you do, if you want to prove a framework on social, you need a lot of time. You need to test it with yourself, and then you need to test it with different types of people, and waiting, I think, a year to prove every tactic, right? And again, maybe if you are a social media coach, you get the volume of clients to test everything super fast. But for most of us, it takes a little longer. So I don't have a year to prove a tactic and then share it with you. A lot of times, whenever you get advice on social media, it is already irrelevant by the time it gets to you. So today's episode is really more of a state of the union of what I'm doing to generate organic leads based on my industry knowledge, because I move on social media and online marketing. So of course I'm aware of what's happening. I am extremely fast at noticing patterns. I think that's something that makes me really good at my job. So based on that, me noticing patterns, I knew and I started realizing that most of the advice I was seeing online was totally outdated, even from proclaimed social media experts. And that's because a lot of them, not everyone, for sure not my favorites, but a lot of them, they've developed these tools and these frameworks, and they've moved from being involved in the day-to-day of understanding social to now marketing their business of social media education. But they're not in the developing of the frameworks anymore. So I was like, okay, what's happening? There's a gap. Things are not working the way they used to. And I am not noticing quality information or education or resources that are up to date, now and for the future, right? And this is coming from, I do brand strategy and positioning for personal brands. So I work on getting that strategy, that messaging that makes you a category of one. And then with my husband, we run a social media agency for founders. So we take that strategy and we execute the whole thing on LinkedIn and X. My husband is incredible on social media. He's been in the industry for, I want to say, probably 15 years. I mean, I think he was early adopter of Instagram. I'm pretty sure one of the first influencers. And he's built communities of over 50,000 followers for his own personal brand. We just got 1 million impressions last month for a client. The guy is a genius. He knows what he's talking about. And we were reviewing analytics for clients, and we've been doing that for a little while. And we were just having this conversation that less is more doesn't apply anymore. Like today, more is more if it is the right kind of more. Today, to stand out on social media and to get leads and to really grow your business, you need quality and you need volume. Like you need more reps of the right type of content. So we noticed this. We started implementing it on clients, and we have gotten incredible results on different platforms. As I said, LinkedIn and X and tech founders. So it's a little bit different. So I know that's where the platforms are at. And I was just thinking like, oh my gosh, I wonder why nothing is happening on Instagram, because that's where I'm the most active. That's the platform I understand the best. That's where I have the biggest community. So of course, I don't want to jump just to create something from scratch on another platform if I have one that's primed so well for me. So what I had been doing before was posting once or twice a week, and I just realized that that isn't enough exposure, or it's not enough testing time. You really need first message clarity, but you need volume, like steady volume with incredible posts, of course. And by incredible, I don't mean highly produced, but like really good content. And we're going to talk about what that looks like in a minute. But the thing is, like, I'm a new mom. I don't want to hustle. I don't have time to like create a whole like lab of Instagram on my house, because I'm focused on becoming every day the best brand strategist there is. So I'm like, I don't want to get distracted by developing a whole framework for social media. Like, I wish I had support, since I'm noticing that this is where the platforms are at. I wish I had support from someone who already built this and is actively like updating what they're doing. So because God is so good, I like really got like a fast solution or response. I tried a few approaches. Some were a bit outdated, really is the type of content that doesn't work anymore. Or they were really just content calendars, if I'm being honest. Or they were very good. I have one that is so good, but it's just more towards like a younger audience and more towards an audience that wants to be kind of like the creator influencer speaking to Gen Z. So not really what I was trying to build, but I liked her ideas. I thought they were interesting. I just thought that it would not apply for my audience or for what I was building. And that's when I found Vix Meldrew's membership. It's called Volume. So when I saw Volume, I was like, okay, we are 100% aligned. Like literally, I just saw the name and I was like, I think I'm going to like this. It clicked with me because it's built for consistent and native content that really grows your right audience. I knew I had a problem of growing my audience. It gives you structure. It gives you formats, examples, so you can move faster. And that's something I really appreciate. I've been becoming a little over reliant on ChatGPT, and while I really like it, and I actually like, one of my most recent episodes is on using ChatGPT for getting clear on your brand positioning, I can also say that ChatGPT sounds a little formulaic when it comes to content creation. So it's like a habit I really wanted to break. And then something else I really liked about Volume is that it was matching what I was seeing on the platform. So like the formats were relevant to the platform, like conversational hooks and tight B-roll reels. Like I'm going to talk about it in a minute, but like I was looking at it and I'm like, yes, this person is up to date with what's happening on the platform. You can tell. And she's providing the best container for me to get the results that I want. So a little note, I asked actually for permission to share kind of like the shape of her framework, and I can't believe she said yes, but I am happy. I'm a happy paying member, so I want to like give you that disclaimer. So what are like the 3 types of content that you need to get organic leads? First, you need content that gets you seen, and that needs to be the majority of your content. If you feel like either you don't have a big community or your people are not interested in what you are selling. So you basically need to be discovered. You need that visibility. And think of top of funnel in the traditional marketing funnel. You want to grow your reach, grow your followers, And the feeling of this content is light, is talkable, is savable. This is more of like party conversation vibes. This is not a, hey, nice to meet you, marry me type of vibe, right? And the formats that are working on IG right now, and this is, as again, I noticed that because I'm on the platforms a lot, is candid photo carousels. So not those overly produced photo shoots, with a little caveat that I'll mention in a minute. B-roll reels. B-roll is basically kind of like behind the scenes content of you working. So imagine that you put your phone and your phone is recording you while you do a specific activity. So B-roll could be B-roll of your daily life. So imagine if you had like a reality show camera just like recording your life, could be of your working, of your daily habits, just like that behind the scenes type of video. And then short hooks, like nothing too elaborate. And something I love that Vix says is, do not reinvent the wheel. Don't try to be super clever. Like, of course, have fun and be witty, and that's incredible, and be relatable, but do not try to lecture your audience. Like, if you are trying to make this content of let me get seen and visible and found, she says like literally like be a basic B for this type of content. And she teaches you how to do it in a way that doesn't feel weird, which is I really appreciate. So she has like the prompts and the templates, and that's helping me get this done faster, which to me, speed is so important right now in this season of business and in this season of life. Then the second type of content is more of relationship building content. And this is where you bring them closer. You would say mid of funnel content. And here you want to build that trust, familiarity. You want to go from like, oh, I like this person to, okay, I get this person. And stories are wonderful for this. Showing BTS decisions, like behind the scenes decisions, like showing how you think about things, how you process information. Carousels where you are showing like your values in action. Everything, of course, with personality. And this is great if you are like me, trying to break a habit of ChatGPT. Like, you can do it, I'm doing it, and this is the perfect like transitional step. And this tool offers like the perfect resource for that. Do not hear, Vix doesn't say this, but I am saying this because I've been telling this to people for so long, and sometimes I wish I was still a podcast producer, because people need to hear this. Do not just repurpose your podcast clips. Like, that doesn't work anymore. You can repurpose the content, like what you're saying, the idea, but you need to match the format that's working on Instagram. So also, I love from Volume is because she has story templates. So that's super helpful if you want to build audience trust without having to like overthink what you're going to say. And then the third type of content is response content. And this is like making working together obvious. So here's where you tell people to join your webinar or to buy from you. This is kind of the bottom of the funnel content. And here you have those clear invitations to consults, to audits, to waitlist. And this is mostly on stories with simple copy blocks. Like, I don't know if you've seen those stories that have like a picture that is very simple and then has a copy block with, hey, you're struggling with this, I have the solution, comment XYZ, and then you get an invitation, you get a link, or you have a link sticker that also works well. And that's where we sell, in your stories, not on the feed. But if you choose to make a more salesy post on your feed, because probably you are on a launch period and it's like strategically you're making the choice, it's not like you're posting salesy posts every single week, but it's more like, okay, I'm launching, so this post has that specific goal. Just know and accept that that post is not going to do well. And I noticed this months ago and I kept doing it. So Vix gave me permission to say, okay, this is not working anymore. Stop saying comment XYZ to work with me. Stories, again, Vix has the templates. So I know I'm tying it back to Volume a lot, but I just think it's such a wonderful tool that I wish more people had it, to be honest. So basically, my approach now, thanks to Volume, is that I want to test as much as possible. I want to take messages, I want to test formats, I want to test angles. And something Vic said that I love is that if you knew for sure that after 1,000 flops, your dream is going to come true, wouldn't you want to get those 1,000 flops out of the way ASAP? Like, it was so good. Like, if you knew for sure, guaranteed 100%, that at 1,001 is going to be the one, you'd be like, sure, let me get the 1,000 out of the way faster. So that's the approach now. More reps, keep it simple, keep it effective, have clear and very powerful messaging, but don't try to write the next Pulitzer novel with every post, which I need to be reminded of constantly. And just think of it as going to the gym, getting the reps to build your muscles. Some specific tips that I'm personally seeing work is, as I said, candid carousels over hyper polished shoots, unless it's part of a larger campaign and there's a reason for the shoot, which is you're bringing your audience into a story. But if it's just the traditional, you working on a desk type of photo, I'm like, we can do better than that. B-roll with short, sticky lines, unless it's on stories, which is fine if you have like a larger text block. And repurpose ideas, not raw podcast clips, or I guess blog posts is the same principle. Don't just take an idea and like paste it under Instagram. You always need to adapt it to Instagram's native structure. And I'm pretty sure a lot of this in terms of like concept works for TikTok. I would say that probably you need more volume even on TikTok, and on X, on Twitter, which is also amazing. You do need even more volume. So to summarize, the type of content that gets you organic leads is the volume type of content. You need to have a clear, a unique, a powerful message that is repeated often in a fun and engaging, a creative way. Of course, always personality packed with your own personality and authenticity. My husband and I noticed this trend with our social media management clients. So I know Vix's framework is absolutely on the money. And just by the way, right now, as I'm recording this in February, the volume membership is open for enrollment. So if you want the same guidance, but customized, of course, to your business, you gotta check it out. Vix is really amazing on her DMs. She's really good at it. So I'm sure she'll be happy to answer any questions. But if you want to get my perspective as a paying customer, I'm super happy to give you feedback and answer your questions. If you're like, hey, is this claim really true? I'm gonna tell you because I have nothing to lose. I'm happy to help you really make decisions. The link to volume is in the show notes. Of course, the link to my Instagram, to my links if you want to work with me. And maybe we'll see each other inside volume. Who knows? That's not an affiliate link, by the way. It's just the regular link to join. I'm just enjoying this a lot, and I wish more people knew about it. So remember from this week, quality versus quantity is not the real debate. Right now, it's repeat the right idea often enough and in the right format. And I'm excited for you. Let's go get together our 1,000 reps in. I'm rooting for you as always. See you soon. Un beso.
I hope you loved today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and send it to someone who's ready to be seen as the go-to in their industry? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. I love reading your comments. They remind me of those little notes you would send your friends in high school, Okay, see you back here soon with the next episode. Un beso.